Hi, I'm Joe.
I'm Joe's mom.
And we're Eastside Vibes.
New hairstyle today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she got a haircut today. So today we're doing something a little different, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
The main reason I picked this artist is because I mentioned a couple weeks ago when we did Dua Lipa that it feels like, it kind of feels like she's an industry plant in the way that she like came out of like nowhere. Like her first like songs she recorded were like famous because she was already famous.
Okay.
But this artist, 4 Bats, that's his name. He's been labeled as an industry plant by a lot of people online because of the way he blew up.
Right.
And this isn't like someone where I would have a ton of background on them because like no one really does.
Right.
This dude kind of came out of nowhere last summer.
They actually say that in one of them I'm going to talk about. Yep.
I remember like when his first video went viral on TikTok, and I was like, what is this guy?
Who is this guy?
Yeah. Well, because when you see him, he's wearing, like, in the video that went viral, and I guess in most videos, he's wearing a ski mask, and he has, like, a very, like, gruff look, and then everyone behind him in his video is, like, very, like, big and menacing.
Yep.
And he's singing, like, pretty lovey-dovey R&B music that's, like, pitched up.
Yeah.
And when you, like, he's the type of person, when you look at him, you would, like, this is why you shouldn't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
For lack of saying anything better, you would probably think he sounds like Chief Keef or something.
Right, right.
Or like 21 Savage.
Right.
He just looks like that's the kind of music he would make.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much the reason he blew up the way he did, and at least in my opinion.
It's interesting you were just talking about his clothes. Do you know that he sells no brand names on his outfits? He's always very just whatever, because he doesn't want to sell any brand names yet.
I guess I didn't really notice that, but I mean, I guess if you think about it, I could see that.
Yep.
But so he kind of blew up literally out of nowhere, and it's pretty much because of his look, I would say. I would definitely because in my opinion at least, and I wonder if you feel this way having showed you some stuff, I don't think what he's doing is super, super unique.
Nope.
His sound people are calling him the Hood Brent Faiyaz, which I don't get because I'm like, Brent Faiyaz is already Hood. like what do you mean he's like, Brent Faiyaz is just the Hood Brent Faiyaz?
Yeah, he is.
And I would say this guy's music is kind of like almost softer than Brent Faiyaz's.
Definitely.
Lyrically, for sure.
Yes, definitely.
Maybe not sonically, but lyrically, for sure.
Yeah.
But, before we got on, before we started recording, you mentioned how he's like trying to stay like very, I don't know, like straight and narrow in the industry. He doesn't want to cause any like problems. You know, like, and then it's ironic because of all the stuff that's going on with Kendrick and Drake. What's funny is when he dropped this mixtape, it still went like #1 for mixtapes.
Oh, wow.
And the mixtape is called You Made Me a Star, by the way. It came out on the same day as Drake's first diss of Kendrick.
Has he done more than one diss?
But yeah, there's been a bunch.
Oh, I thought it was just the one.
But anyway, so like he kind of tweeted, is like, hey guys, like, can you chill the hell out? Like, I just put out my first record.
Yeah, give me a chance.
And like I said, you mentioned that he doesn't have any beef. I'm wondering if there's something weird there with this guy, though. Because with him and Drake. Right. Because, so when he, like, blew up, he signed almost immediately to OVO, that's Drake's label. Okay. And you mentioned he was co-signed by Kanye, so Kanye also, like, said he really likes this guy. Okay. And, which is interesting because Drake and Kanye are supposed to not like each other. Although Kanye recently in an interview said that he thinks that him and Ty Dolla $ign are the next Drake and 21 Savage. So, like, now he's praising Drake? I don't know. But anyway, that's besides the point. His first song that went viral was actually Stickers, the first song. Oh, okay. The second one was Data 8. Okay. And, like, not long after Data 8 went viral, Drake remixed it.
Yes.
And there's a remix by Drake, and it's a pretty good remix.
Yeah, yep, I've heard that.
Well, what's interesting is that remix is not on this tape. And there is a remix of a song of his with Kanye on this tape. And now he's not really, like, saying anything about being a part of OVO anymore. Mm-hmm. So, like, I wonder if he and Drake had some sort of falling out.
Could be.
I think that his music is definitely very inspired by Drake and, like, early Weekend.
Yes.
But, so I could see why he, like, gravitated towards Drake. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, no, I just found that weird that, like, why would, if he included the original version and then the remix of a song on here, the one with Kanye, why didn't he include the remix, another remix that Drake did of a song that's on here?
Yeah. So, well, and again, maybe it has to do with the fact that he's irritated that they put that out when his album came out. Who knows?
Well, I mean, it was dropped that way on that day, though, so he had already like planned to not have that on. Maybe he just literally did it to stir up drama, because that he seems to be very good at that. Mm-hmm. That's what he's trying to do, and it's working. Mm-hmm. Yeah, anyway, like always, we're going to just talk about some of our favorite songs and then get into how we feel about the whole thing at the end. Mm-hmm. And I think I mentioned this mixtape is called You Made Me a Star by 4 Bats.
And 4 Bats is 4, the number 4, B-A-T-Z.
Yeah,
so you're trying to look them up.
Everything's, like, the way this is stylized, it's all stylized in, like, lowercase letters, and like it looks like it's like made for the internet. Yep. Which I enjoy that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
Yeah. The first track we were gonna shout out is actually just like the first, like, mini. I guess I would call it like an intro.
Yeah, it's only 30 seconds long.
Yeah, it's not a song. It's like kind of an introduction to the album. But my mom just liked it. It's called "You Made Me a Star," like MP3. Yep. And this is the only song on here that doesn't follow the rest of it is supposed to be a story, obviously.
Yes.
Because it says, like, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. This one doesn't have the act on there.
No.
But, yeah, I guess I'll let you talk about it since you picked this one.
So, I'll start with the other part of it. The intros that come in are Kay Sennett, who is a Twitch streamer. How do I say it?
Kai Sennett.
Kai Sennett. DJ
Academics.
Okay, who is an influencer and streamer.
You don't know who Kai is? I know for a fact every single one of your students watches that guy.
Does he?
100. Like, I know for a fact they do.
Who else is there? Joe, is it Budden or Budden?
Joe Budden.
Okay,
you should know Joe Budden. He's in like the Eminem crew.
I don't know. He's a media personality and broadcaster.
Well, he was a rapper too.
Kanye West is in there a little bit, and then AC Care. I couldn't find anything about AC Care.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who it is.
So they're like a radio DJ or something.
So they're like talking, and it's hysterical because they're like, "Where the hell did this guy come from?"
Academics.
Like, they had nowhere.
Academics in there to me sounds like Charlemagne.
Yes, that's exactly what I saw.
Was that Charlemagne?
I thought there was Charlemagne and like Chris Brown in there.
It was Academics.
He was like, "Who the hell is this guy? Where did they come from?" And that's what they're saying. He came out of nowhere. In that intro part, he's like, y'all, no, this is the part then. So they're all up there talking about who he is and where he came from. But then in the end, he comes on and he's like, here's one of his quote or his lyrics. He's like, y'all probably wondering how I got here. One moment I'm going through the worst shit of my life. And then the next moment I'm one of the biggest artists of the world, I guess. And the crap he's talking about is heartbreak. Like, it's like the whole thing is about heartbreak.
Yeah, so like as you like when you listen to this, you figure out pretty quickly the whole it's interesting because the singles were obviously about this too, but it makes you wonder if this whole thing was planned, because they seem like they fit into the story unless he's that good of a songwriter that he wrote these other ones after.
Right. I don't know.
In this theme.
Yeah.
Because the singles are also about like some girl and like,
every one of them. Yep.
Except the singles are actually not about the breakup.
Okay.
They're about them, like, you know,
a girl.
Stickers 99 and then Date at 8.
Yeah.
those songs are just about like Date at 8 is him talking about how he's gonna like, you know, buy her nails for the date and you know.
Yep.
But and then after that, so maybe after those songs came out, she dumped him.
Could be.
It could have happened in real time.
That's true.
And
Could
then
have
he
been.
like made these songs like referencing what had happened.
What had happened, like well, man, it could be the Act 1, Act 3, like all of a sudden Act 3, like she dumped me. You know?
Like I'm curious if she dumped him before those singles ever came out.
Yeah.
Or if she dumped, like, those singles came out, everything's great, he's going viral, then she dumps him.
And then he throws the other songs on there.
Yeah, and then he makes the rest of them.
Could be.
Like, I'm curious about that part. But, yeah, so the next song we picked is actually, it's kind of, the songs we picked are all, like, towards the back end of the album.
Yeah.
I think part of it for me is the first 3 songs are the singles, and I heard those so much on like TikTok and stuff that I was like, they're fine, but you know, I gravitated towards ones that I haven't heard as much. But so the next song we picked actually skips down to Act 5.
Yes.
And that's called There Goes Another Vase.
It's a good one.
And that was one of my picks.
I would have picked that one too. Almost all the songs he picked, I'm like, I almost picked that one too.
This one, like my other song, it's like one of like the saddest songs on the record.
Yes.
Like it's literally about him being in like a really bad fight with this girl where they're like throwing crap at each other and like very like a violent fight.
Like a violent fight. Yeah.
And the song is about him going back and forth about how like this person is like horrible for him, but he just cannot get her out of his head, and he keeps going back, and he keeps wanting her. But there's a song earlier, there's a song earlier where he talks about how like basically like she wants to dump him, and he doesn't. Like he's begging her to like
stop. Don't do
stop.
It.
He's like He's like, I want to stay, and she's like, no, dude, like, go find someone else. Like, I'm obviously, like, you know I'm crazy. And, like, the way, like, I would say, like, the vocals on this are almost, like, feel the opposite of, like, what the meaning of the song is. Because it's very, like, sweet and, like, almost, like, ethereal, like, floaty.
You know, he just brought up the vocals. So if you look him up, you're going to hear he has a lower voice. And in some of the songs, you can hear that, but then he does that high pitch, whatever it is, and you think that that's like somebody did that to his voice or whatever to make it, or do you think he can actually sing that?
No, I think it's definitely pitched up.
Okay, all right.
But
it's very good.
Yeah, no, I mean it's the way it's pitched up is cool, and he actually does have a very good singing voice.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does have a very good like singing voice, but I actually enjoy the way it's pitched up on these songs more than like his I can tell there's a reason why they did that because it works really well for his voice.
It does.
Although I'd say it worked. You know, it's funny. Maybe that's a reason why they compare him to Brent Faiyaz too, because Brent Faiyaz's voice sounds very good when it's pitched up.
Yes, it does.
On the song, even though he has a great singing voice besides that, probably better than Forbats. It also sounds nice when it's pitched up. This instrumental, I would say, almost has like an old school. A lot of this has like an old school R&B feeling.
Yes.
Like this isn't really trap.
No.
Like there's a couple songs that have like sort of trap beats, but
trappish,
yeah, but it's definitely more like 90s.
Yeah.
And his vocals like fit that style.
Yep.
There's a song later where that you picked where I felt it sort of reminds me of like Boyz II Men a little bit, like that, like even like his voice.
Yep.
But so that's Act 5. There Goes Another Vase. The next one we picked is Act 8, or no, never mind, Act 7, which is All We Do Is Argue, Argue, and Argue. And to me, sonically, this sounds pretty similar to Act 5. I think you almost could have put these songs back to back.
Correct.
Because they sound like they have a similar melody.
Right.
And a similar theme, too.
Right.
This is also about him just being in fights with this girl constantly. But, like, to keep him wanting to go back and her trying to, like, stop the relationship.
Volatile relationship.
it's interesting because obviously she's the one that like realizes how bad it is,
Right,
and
right.
I'm sure he's doing like he's contributing to like how nasty it is too. But it feels like she's, at least from his perspective, she's nastier than him.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of The Weeknd in the album that we did, where there were parts where he was like, I don't want you to leave, and all that stuff, and all of a sudden he sings this song. What is the song that I like? Scared to Live Again.
Well, Scared to Live.
Yeah, Scared to Live, and then in that one he's like realizing she has to go out on her own. I just had that imagery through the whole album.
Yeah. I would say this is so inspired by The Weeknd.
Definitely.
Like 100%.
Yep.
Like lyrically
Yes,
inspired.
definitely.
Maybe not the sound, but
the
the way it's
theme,
written.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Speaking of The Weeknd, he just posted on Instagram and Twitter, like, this is the beginning of the end or whatever.
Because this is the end album. This is
the last album as The Weeknd.
The trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems he's starting to like promote it. It feels like.
Ooh, nice.
So that's coming out pretty soon.
Nice.
Which means, although you've heard a second one, right? Or the second one of the trilogy?
No, we did the one we did.
No, we did the first one.
Oh, I've heard parts of it, not all of it.
No, you've heard the Jim Carrey one. I'm saying.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I was gonna say I guess we don't have to listen to that one here. If you know that one.
Yeah, I do.
But I think, as far as like this, I actually like the singing better on All We Do Is Argue than I do on There Goes Another Vase. I think that the hook is catchier on There Goes Another Vase, but his actual vocals are better on this.
Okay.
But that's All We Do Is Argue. All We Do Is Argue. I guess the third argue is not in the title, even though it is in the refrain. The next song we picked is Act 8, and that's called I Hate to Be Alone.
That one's so sad.
To me, this is the last song of the album. Technically, there is another one.
Right.
But it's a remix to a previous song.
Right.
And this sounds like it would be the last song.
Yes.
Sonically, it's different. Like
very different.
To me, you said it's sad, but the instrumentation on this is a lot brighter than anything. It's almost like sunny. But the lyrics are the opposite.
Right.
But yeah, I'll let you talk why you like this one.
Okay. So it talks about a relationship had hurt him very much, and he's trying to move on but having a difficult time dealing with the loneliness. He's a guy who longs for affection, it seems, even though when you look at him you don't think so, but apparently he must really, whoever broke up with him, it was tough. It was hard. It was a hard breakup.
I will say, this sounds like something that's coming from a 20-year-old who was like desperately in love.
Yes.
Because he is 20 years old.
Yeah.
Like, the way this is written.
20. Yep. Very young.
You're like, this guy was like, this is his first love, and he was like in love. Like, he thought he was gonna marry this person. Like, you can tell by the way, like, how passionate he is.
Very passionate.
It's really sweet.
Yeah, it is very sweet. That's all I had to say about it.
But you didn't. You didn't like the sound of it or anything like that?
No, I like the sound of it. Like you said, it's very Boys to Men. You also brought up someone else, Pendergrass.
Yeah, I thought like that style of music, like Teddy Pendergrass and Boys to Men. I could even see like Mariah Carey.
Definitely, I could see her like doing a duet with him. You know, on that song.
Yeah, because the instrumental sounds like one of hers.
Right. So no, I didn't like it for the sadness. I liked it for the way it sounded. But the meaning behind it, which goes with the whole album, that one just hit me the most.
This might be his best vocals on the record to me. I think they're probably the least like doctored in this one.
I agree. 100%.
So you can actually hear how good of a singer this guy is.
Right.
I almost wonder, or I almost wish I know why they pitched it up the way they did, especially because of his image. But I almost wish they didn't as much because like he sounds very good on this.
He does sound very good.
And on this kind of instrumental, which is a lot like lighter sounding.
Correct.
Than everything else. It's a bit heavier.
Correct.
The last song we picked is, I guess it's technically titled Act 9.
Right. And
it's On God, She Like.
Yeah.
But it's also Act 3, because it's the third song on the album and the third single.
And you like that one better.
And I like the original version better. The one without, like, the Act 9 is the remix with Kanye.
Right. And it's still the same song until Kanye comes in.
Yeah, well, I think they cut out a Four Bats verse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they replace it with Kanye's.
Okay.
And to me, Kanye brings this song down.
A lot of people have said that.
But you picked the Kanye version, so I'll let you talk about why you like it.
Okay, so this song was actually teased on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
It talks about against the difficulties of love and assurance. To have someone there. He realized that love is not always a two-way street. His song details, one of his lyrics is, "You put that shit on God. It's just a phrase. It's a testament to hate and the gravity of promises made and the weight of betrayal." So, I mean, talk about heavy. He's really talking about the fact that, I thought this was a two-way relationship, and then you just betrayed me, and it hit heavy.
I'll go back to I wonder how this was written, because the first two songs came out not that far apart. They came out last June and July.
Okay.
And then this single came out, I don't know, maybe in February or March, right before not long before the album came out.
Okay.
First two songs, like I mentioned, aren't about the breakup.
Right.
They're about him being in love with the girl.
Right.
This one more feels like it's about at least relationship troubles.
Right.
If not the breakup.
Right, exactly.
So I wonder if this was written way after when something was happening.
Yep.
And
so he had written the first two songs before, like you said, before they were broken up, possibly.
Or is it that this whole thing was planned and she broke up with him last year and this was all written already?
Yeah, could be.
But the way it does feel like it's in real time to me. When
agree.
you hear this, it feels like something had just happened.
Yeah, exactly.
She just dumped him.
Yeah, and then he's
and then he wrote this one.
Yep,
and then
definitely.
the rest of the songs are have a lot nastier of a tone.
Yeah. But I feel he never really calls her out and says bad things about her. And that's something that when I was looking him up, that's something they said is that he doesn't try to call out other rappers or call out people because he doesn't want that negativity. He doesn't want that. I mean, he does.
I would hope he wouldn't do that right now.
Because he doesn't want people to look at him and be like, who is this guy? He's just another rapper trying to cause beef. Yeah. And so because he doesn't do that with her, like The Weeknd did, but he doesn't, I think that's very respectful of who she is, but his heart was broken when this happened. It
is, we compared him to The Weeknd. It is interesting, because when you listen to The Weeknd, you can tell this guy's an absolute, asshole to women. Oh. Or at least... in the way he sings. Who knows if he's like that in real life?
Yeah, exactly.
But even when we listen to House of Balloons, one of my favorite Weeknd songs ever is Coming Down. And that's where he's literally singing to her, hey, I just got home from the party and I'm coming down from all these drugs. You should come over right now.
Yeah.
At 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And after he was with all these other girls.
Right.
But he's not he does not have that energy on this.
No, not
it's
at all.
almost like she was doing that.
Yeah, but he's just not horrible to her. He just keeps talking about how
he's the girl, he's the girl in the Weeknd situation. The girl was doing this.
Yeah, exactly. This is how she feels.
Yeah, and he's the one that's trying to get her back.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. So about the Kanye part, I says it's definitely emphasizing betrayal. I think there's possible references to Kim Kardashian.
Everything he does is about Kim.
References her. I mean,
the whole Vultures album was about her.
Yeah, it's like you're married with someone else who looks like her.
She still goes to all his performances.
Yeah, I just saw that. They're next door neighbors, and he does that for the kids. But it's it's over. Stop. She doesn't. Granted, I'm not a Kardashian person, but it appears like she really never calls him out anymore. Says bad things about him, but he's just always just. I feel that she was truly the love of his life, and then
I think they just like drama.
They wanted drama, and then he just calls her out.
They like drama.
And the other thing is that most people don't, like we said, don't like this rendition of it. I did.
part of it, I feel like it's just because of the perception of Kanye right now.
Right.
But I don't think, like, a lot of times in the past when you hear Kanye remix stuff, like, he gives something. I don't think he gives anything
That's
to this.
what everybody said. That's what
doesn't.
But for some reason, I like it.
There's, maybe I'll play it for you after this. There's a remix of the song Diamonds by Rihanna that he remixed.
Oh.
And I think and I love the original. I think that's way better because, like, what he, like, raps about is really relevant to, like, what the song's about.
Okay, all right.
And to me, it's like he just popped on this guy's song to bitch about Kim.
Yeah, exactly.
And it has nothing to do with what the other guy's saying.
No, not at all. It's not. He's not on there complaining about the girl. He's just
he's doing the opposite.
He is, and then Kanye just throws his thing in to complain again. Yeah,
and he's not like he's not a good enough vocalist to like to be able to get away with that.
Right, like Drake would be.
Yeah, or Drake, like The Weeknd, if The Weeknd just comes on to a song and just sings about something completely different, then you're like, oh, at least it still sounds good, so whatever.
This didn't really, but I don't know, for some reason I liked it.
In this case.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, I like the other version a lot better.
I know.
But, yeah, that's how those were our favorite songs from Four Bats' You Made Me a Star. I'm gonna let you talk about how you feel about this one before I give my opinion.
So we were talking about this before we started our discussion that we both listen to it more now, especially we both listen to it today, just to kind of get it in our head again. And it grew on us.
Yeah.
It grew on me more listening to it today than it originally did. I mean, initially, I only liked the songs that I liked. That was it. I'm like, those are the three. That's what I'm sticking with. But then when I kept listening to the full album, I'm like, this whole thing is really good. I mean, this were, like I said, the two you picked, I would have picked too. So I really would, for a guy so young who truly has so much to look forward to, and the intelligence of him not calling people out and things like that. I like that part of him, so I would give this an 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. After I've listened to it more and more, I would give it an 8.
Yeah. So, like, when I reviewed this, I reviewed it a couple of weeks ago at the same time as when I listened to Dua.
Okay.
And I was pretty underwhelmed by that one, too. Like relatively to like what she's done in the past.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
Even though I think it is a pretty good album. This album, I also just felt, I was like, this is like fine. I don't know. Maybe I'd already seen all the viral videos a bunch, and
Could be.
I'm like, whatever. Like he's all right, but he's not doing anything like too crazy.
Right.
But when I listened to it again today, I do like how well it flows together.
Yes, the song, there's no like break in between the songs.
And that's really nice.
It flows into the next one. We listened to some, was it Brent Faiyaz who did that?
Brent, he does it.
Yeah.
The Weeknd does it too.
Yeah, I love that because it just sounds like one song blending. The Gorillaz did that too.
Yeah, and the way this one's written, like, because the lyrics are like this too, it feels like it's almost like a 25-minute story that this guy's telling.
I agree 100%.
And I appreciate that. I think that's a very cool way to do it.
Yep.
I think I initially gave it like a 6.5 when I wrote about it, and now I'd probably give it like a 7.
Okay.
I think he has a ton of potential.
Oh, ton.
And I would like to see him like develop what he's doing more.
Right.
For me, one thing that holds us back a little bit is just how short all the songs are.
They are very short.
I wish they were more like developed.
Yes.
Especially for this kind of music.
Right.
I don't really mind short songs very much, but like for this kind of R&B music,
right.
I think it's better if it's more like developed.
Right. And again, he's starting out, and he, like we both said, he has so much potential.
Yeah, he is.
I'm excited to see what his next album is.
Yeah, he's on to something like really good here, and I hope that he, like this guy, Four Bats, like keeps up the hype and people stay into him.
Right.
Because he could do something pretty cool.
Definitely. And the fact that, like, in the first song, the influencers are really listening to this guy going, where is he coming from?
Yeah.
He's got a future. And I just thought I thought that was really cool that the influencers are hitting on him big.
So, that's how we feel about Four Bats' You Made Me a Star. Next week, I think we're going to go into something completely different from this. Although... I don't know. It's still another indie artist, so I guess technically...
Who has grown completely.
Yeah. but it's someone who everyone loved off the bat.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. Oh yeah.
That show, that's a little different than this.
Right.
But with that being said, I'm Joe.
I'm Joe's mom.
We're Eastside Vibes, and thanks for watching.
Bye.